If you visit Target, I bet you already have at least a couple of these 5 scams sitting at home right now. Those cute little bottles look flawless under the bright store lights. But 2 hours later on your face, they've oxidized, settled into fine lines, or disappeared completely, and it ruins the rest of your day. The brands behind those bottles design these formulas to photograph beautifully and sell fast. They were never built to actually perform on real mature skin through a full day. Today, I'm finally laying it all out. I'm giving you the exact 5 I've watched fail over and over again on my clients, plus the 5 that actually make people stop you and say, okay, what are you wearing? Your skin looks incredible. And yes, I'm saving the very best one for last. Stick with me, you're going to want to hear this all the way through. Let's get into the scammers. I'm counting down from number 5 to the absolute worst offender. And honestly, number 1 is going to make some of you angry because I guarantee it's sitting on your bathroom counter right now. Number 5 is the ELF, Halo Glow Liquid Filter. Look, I love a glow as much as the next girl, but this is being sold like a real foundation when it's really just a tinted moisturizer with extra sparkle. Clients come in excited after seeing the TikToks, and I get it. The before and afters online look stunning. But what those videos don't show you is the 4-hour mark. That's when it fades, separates on the cheeks, and leaves you shiny in all the wrong places. If you want almost nothing on your skin, fine. But if you need actual coverage, it ghosts you by lunch. And that's only number 5. The next one has an even more misleading name. Number 4 is the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation. The name sounds amazing, right? Won't stop. But on mature skin, it stops pretty fast. It goes on thick and matte, which sounds good for oil control, until it settles into every fine line around your mouth and eyes by lunchtime. One of my regulars loved the coverage at first. 3 hours later, she was back in my chair because it had cracked along her laugh lines and looked like a mask peeling off. It sucked every drop of moisture out of her face, and if you're over 35, your skin will not forgive that. But at least the NYX tells you what it is on the label. Number 3 has been lying to women for over a decade. Number 3 is the Revlon Color Stay. This one has been around forever. Women trust the 24-hour wear promise. I trusted it too until a client showed up for a wedding last spring. She looked perfect when she left my chair. Gorgeous. I was proud of that face. Then she texted me a photo from the reception, 2 hours in. The Revlon had cracked along her smile line, separated under her eyes, and transferred onto the collar of a dress she'd bought specifically for this day. We had to FaceTime so I could walk her through fixing it in the bathroom while the toasts were happening in the other room. It ended up on her collar, her phone, her wine glass, everything. It never moves with your skin the way a real foundation should. But number 2 actually tricks you into thinking it's working at first. That's what makes it worse. Number 2 is the L'Oreal Infallible Freshwear, or Pro Matte. These are everywhere at Target and the packaging looks so sleek. But here's what actually happens. They start out okay, then turn straight up Oompa Loompa orange within a couple of hours. I've watched it happen on clients with combination skin especially. One of my clients bought 3 different shades trying to get it right. Every single one shifted. Almost $40 trying to make the same brand work, and every shade oxidized on her. It ends up looking heavy, flat, and dead, like wearing a mask you didn't ask for. But none of these come close to my number 1 scammer. This one is in almost every woman's medicine cabinet in America. And number 1, the biggest Target foundation scammer in my book, is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Plus Poreless. I know it's a bestseller and it feels light when you first apply it. But after 30 years of seeing it on real faces, I can tell you it makes every pore look like a crater, oxidizes like crazy, and goes dead matte and spackle city on mature skin by mid-afternoon. One woman told me she put it on for her daughter's graduation, looked in the mirror, and wiped it all off because she said it added 10 years to her face. She went to the ceremony with bare skin because that looked better than the Fit Me. Another client told me she'd been wearing it for 2 years before she realized it was the foundation making her skin look worse, not her skin itself. She thought she was aging badly. She wasn't. It was the Fit Me the whole time. It's the one I see most often when someone walks in looking defeated. And here's what every single one of those scammers has in common. They're built with cheap silicones and fillers that look flawless under Target's fluorescent lights. They photograph beautifully on the shelf, but the second they hit real skin, real oil, real texture, real life, they fall apart. They were designed to sell in the aisle, not survive on your face. That's the difference between a scammer and a winner. So those are the 5 I steer my clients away from every single week. But knowing what to avoid is only half the battle. The 5 I'm about to show you don't just dodge those problems. They fix them. And the gap between number 5 and number 1 is so big, I had to double check my own testing to make sure I wasn't imagining it. They make women lean into the mirror, pause, and say, "Oh wow," out loud. I've watched it happen hundreds of times. I'm counting these down too, and I'm saving the absolute best for last. Number 5 among the winners is the ELF. Flawless Finish Foundation. I almost didn't test this one. I assumed anything from ELF. Under $10 couldn't handle real mature skin. I was wrong. One of my clients with deep smile lines and dry patches around her nose wore it to a full 8-hour workday. It's lightweight, buildable, and sets to a beautiful satin finish that doesn't look dry or heavy. Unlike the halo glow that separates and disappears, this one melted right into her skin without clinging to a single dry patch. She came back and told me 3 coworkers asked if she'd gotten a facial. One of them actually pulled her aside and asked if she'd had something done. She hadn't. She'd spent $8. It's one of those quiet overachievers that just works. But number 4 does something I've almost never seen a drugstore product pull off. Number 4 is the Milani Conceal Plus Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. This multitasker actually delivers, and here's how I know. I have a client with combination skin who'd given up on drugstore foundations completely. Oily forehead, dry cheeks, redness across her nose. I put this on her as a test, fully expecting to wipe it off and go to my usual higher-end pick. 8 hours later, she sent me a selfie. Her skin still looked like skin. Coverage was holding, no creasing, no oil slick on the T-zone. It evens out redness and dark spots without settling into lines, and it keeps the grease at bay on the forehead without drying out the cheeks. She asked me if I was sure it was only $12. Reliable day after day, which is more than I can say for foundations 3 times its price. Now, number 3 surprised even me, and I've been doing this for 30 years. Number 3 is the L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Serum Foundation. This one feels more like skincare than makeup, and that's exactly why I love it for women who want that "I just left the spa" look. Here's the science behind why it works. Hyaluronic acid holds up to 1,000 times its weight in water. So while the Revlon and L'Oreal Pro Matte are busy cracking and oxidizing because they're pulling moisture out of your skin, this one is doing the opposite. It's feeding your skin hydration all day long. I have a client in her mid-50s who wears this daily. Her husband asked her what she changed about her skincare routine because her face looked younger and softer. She hadn't changed her skincare at all. She'd changed her foundation. Buildable but never heavy, and the shade range is genuinely excellent. You'd think it's hard to beat. But number 2 proves that one brand can make both the worst and the best foundation on the shelf. Number 2 is the Maybelline Superstay Lumi Matte, or the newer skin tint versions. I did something reckless last month. I put the Maybelline Superstay on one half of a client's face and a $42 department store foundation on the other. She wore it for a full day without knowing which side was which. When she came back, I asked her which side she liked better. She pointed to the Maybelline. Every single time I run this test, the result is the same. This $11 formula gives you that soft, focused, luminous finish that still controls shine, without going dead matte and spackle city like the Fit Me does. It's proof that the same brand behind the worst foundation on this list can also make one of the best. But I still haven't shown you the one that changed everything in my salon. And I need to explain why it's different from anything else I've ever tested. But none of these even come close to what I'm about to show you at number 1. Number 1. And I need to be honest with you before I say this. When somebody first told me about a color-changing foundation, I almost laughed. It sounded like something from a 3 a.m. infomercial right next to the AB roller and the Snuggie. But a client brought it in, asked me to try it, and what happened next is the reason it's number 1 on this list. It's called the Luxe Color Changing Foundation. The formula starts neutral, almost like a tinted primer. But as you blend it with a damp sponge, it reads your skin's pH and undertone and adjusts. I tested it on 3 clients back to back. Different skin tones, different undertones. The same bottle matched every single one. No mixing shades, no guessing, no standing in the Target aisle holding 6 bottles up to your jaw. That was the moment I stopped being skeptical and started being obsessed. Unlike every single scammer we talked about, it never oxidizes. It gives medium to full coverage that looks like your skin but better, not makeup. It lasts all day without settling into lines or looking heavy, and the finish is that lit from within, soft matte glow Korean makeup is famous for. After 30 years of testing every formula that comes out, this is the one I keep coming back to because it solves the exact problems the others create. It's lightweight, it melts right into the skin like butter with a damp sponge, and my clients walk out looking like they just had professional makeup done. If you only try one thing from this video, make it this one. I put the link right below this video. If you're not sure which shade, start with the medium. That's the one I reach for most in my salon, and remember, it adjusts to your skin anyway, so you really can't get it wrong. Click the link, try it once, and come back here and tell me I was right, because I will be. And don't just take my word for it. One of my clients told me she stopped wearing concealer altogether because the Luxe gives her enough coverage that she doesn't need it anymore. That's one less product, one less step, and her skin actually looks better for it. Another client wore it to her company holiday party. She told me 2 women she'd never met came up and asked what foundation she was wearing because her skin looked flawless. She said that had never happened to her in her entire life. A third client sent me a side-by-side photo of herself wearing the Fit Me on one cheek and the Luxe on the other. Same lighting, same angle. She said she looked like 2 different people. The Fit Me side looked dry and textured. The Luxe side looked like she'd just walked out of a spa. She threw the Fit Me in the trash that night. That's the difference a real formula makes. Now, before I let you go, 2 quick tips so you get the absolute best out of whatever foundation you choose. First, always prep with a good moisturizer and primer, especially if your skin runs dry or mature. Skip this step and even the best foundation will betray you by 2 p.m. Dry, unprepped skin will make any foundation cling to flaky patches and crease in your lines. Second, use a damp beauty sponge instead of a brush. It melts the product into your skin instead of sitting on top of it. That one swap alone can make a $15 foundation look like a $60 one. Bounce it, don't drag it. You want to press the product into your skin, not paint it on like a wall. And third, if you're between shades, go with the lighter one and warm it up with a tiny bit of bronzer or blush on the cheeks. A foundation that's slightly too light is invisible once you add warmth. A foundation that's too dark looks like a mask, and there's no fixing that. Now, there's actually a 4th tip I give my best clients about shade matching that most makeup artists never talk about, but I'm saving that for next week's video because it deserves its own breakdown. So there you have it. The 5 target foundations I steer you away from, and the 5 that will actually make you look and feel your best. If you haven't grabbed the Luxe yet, the link is still right below this video. Go try it. If this helped you even a little, drop a comment and tell me which foundation surprised you the most. And if you want more honest, no BS makeup advice from someone who's been doing this for 3 decades, hit subscribe. Next week, I'm breaking down the exact under-eye concealer trick I use on every client over 45 that makes them look well-rested even when they're not. You're not going to want to miss it. Take care of that beautiful skin, ladies. I'll talk to you soon.